Wow. Verse, we got a big one to talk about today. I heard about this story that was going on, and I wasn't really going to talk about it, but I watched the live stream that was going on with this situation. And when looking at the live stream, I will say that I noticed that there were people who were involved that tried to literally take control of the situation. And these were people that I actually know. So because of that, I'm actually going to be talking about the story and giving you guys my thoughts. I'll be playing clips throughout the video. I originally react to it, but I already seen it, so there's no point in me reacting to you again and trying to give you like a reaction to some kind when I've already seen it. But I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts on this situation because it is just crazy, you know, the way how people are nowadays and what's been currently going on. So for those of you that don't know, there is a video going viral of this live kick streamer who went into this wrestling ring and literally picked up a wrestler named Psycho Stu, and he pinned him down to the ring hella hard to the point where I think he kind of knocked him out because he hit his head on the ring. And then just when you thought that everything was going fine and dandy, because that happens a lot in wrestling, right? People get lifted up and thrown on the mat or outside the ring all the time. This guy starts throwing punches left and right on this guy as he's unconscious constantly.
You kill me! Hey!
I heard that he threw like over 22 punches. This guy was bleeding all over the mat. It got so bad to the point where the other wrestlers had to get involved to take control of this guy. And now it's become such a huge thing that everybody's talking about it. And it got to the point where now I even want to talk about it because this is crazy. So for those of you that don't know, right, the person that everyone is talking about is this kid named Raja, right? He is a kick streamer, or was a kick streamer. After this event, he basically got banned, which is actually pretty good. I don't know why he thought it'd be a good idea for him to live stream him assaulting someone. So what happened was that there's all these clips of apparently him getting into an altercation with this independent wrestler named Psycho Stu, who in this clip...
Where's the real McKill at? Where's he at?
You don't need to worry about him. You need to be worried about Psycho Stu.
Psycho Stu?
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little...
Oh, you don't sell it?
Easy. He's not a fucking worker, bro. Calm down.
Yeah, what the fuck was that?
You're good.
What the fuck was that?
You don't sell it?
Dude, he's not a fucking worker, bro.
What the fuck was that? Hold on. I don't play that shit, bro.
Oh, sorry about
Nah,
that.
I will fuck him up, bro.
I know you will.
No.
We're good.
I will fuck him up, bro.
Yeah, you can see that he basically smacked him in the head with a can. It's a Pepsi can, but with a can. And he basically was like in character. If you don't know anything about wrestling, right? When you see a camera of some kind or something, some wrestlers kind of like to be in character throughout the whole entire time, right? So they like to kind of go with the flow for a promo or whatever, so that way they can build up to the intense match that's going to be happening pretty soon. And here, this kid, I was really curious to know why he was even there surrounded by wrestlers, because apparently it was a misunderstanding. So Psycho Stu smacked him in the head with this bottle because apparently he was trying to talk about his reputation, like, you never heard of me? You never heard of me? And then apparently Raja was like, no, I've never heard of you. Who the hell are you? He was like, oh, you're gonna hear about me. So he hits him in the head. Then it sounded to a bunch of people who were there were actually trying to break it up and even trying to tell Psycho Stu, whoa, like, what are you doing? Like, he's not a wrestler. This kid's not, he's not in the show. Like, he's just here visiting. And then the guy's like, oh shit. So he realized he messed up and he's basically trying to make amends with him. At first, Raja is incredibly heated, so he doesn't want to accept his apology.
I don't know why. Sorry about that. He always thinks that we're working over here like it's part of the fucking storyline.
Just keep quiet. What kind of homo thug shit?
Rampage. That's how we
No, bro.
Go ahead.
But then Psycho Stu decides to apologize to him numerous times, about 2 or 3 times, even to the point where Raja even accepted the apology and they even shook hands. Psycho Stu even explained that he thought that he was a wrestler.
Yeah. Hey,
I'm sorry, bro. Hey, it's gonna all work out.
Yeah, as long as I can do that. Yeah.
I apologize.
I appreciate it.
I didn't know. I thought you were at work.
I get it.
And then we got the whole altercation where after, when this kid lays out on him in the ring and they basically kicked him out, then we got this clip of him basically raging as he left the building.
Tired of motherfuckers playing with me, bro. Real shit. One of them a bitch and fucking bit me. I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me and shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit. Not no fucking bitch, bro. At the end of the day, I'ma stand up for my fucking self because I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me, bro. Real shit.
Yeah, a mess. An utterly ridiculous mess. This guy has no self-control. Now, I told myself, there's more to say, but I literally told myself, if this was a live stream, I know someone had to have recorded it and put it on YouTube. There's no freaking way that this is the whole story. I have to know exactly what happened. How did we get here in the first place, right? Sure enough, I found the live stream and I watched it earlier today. It is about an hour and 45 minutes, okay? Did I watch the whole thing? No. Okay, I did not watch the whole thing. I skimmed through some of it. I just wanted to know, why was this kid even there in the first place? And now I know. So for those of you that don't know, I come to find out that this kid is the son of a famous MMA fighter named Rampage Jackson. Don't know anything about him. But apparently he's trying to walk into his father's footsteps because he was in the middle of doing kickboxing. He was in the middle of training. But in the beginning of this live stream, he gets kicked in the head to the point where everyone's like, yeah, you're done for the day.
It's good. No, I didn't go with my pops. How does my head feel? I'm still fucked up. I'm not even gonna lie. It's part of the reason why I didn't stream earlier. I was supposed to stream going to fucking paintballing with AJ. But my head was fucked up. I was throwing up and shit.
So this cameraman is basically talking to him and telling him like, hey man, like, you okay? I'm okay. I know this one guy who's going over to this wrestling show right now, so I'm just gonna go visit him. And right there I was like, oh, so that's why he went there. He went there to basically go meet someone. Which makes sense because he said he had an instructor who was also a wrestler. And that's true. When I did independent wrestling, I had instructors who did not just wrestling, but did boxing and kickboxing. So one second, there was days where they were over here, or there were days where they were in another gym teaching another type of sport. It's completely common. So when they went over there, that's when the altercation happened. He goes there, he meets a few people, right? This one wrestler with a cowboy hat takes him to the back, to the very back where all the wrestlers are at. They're getting ready to go out there pretty soon, doing their own thing, which is completely legit. All wrestlers do that. I even did that. And then when it came down to him being in the back, I guess they were messing around. Psycho Stu, I guess, saw Raja's cameraman, and I think he thought that they were shooting a promo, and that's when the altercation happened, which he even says afterward. He literally said, oh, well, I saw the camera guy, so I thought we were shooting a promo. That's why I did that to you, because I thought you knew what we were doing. Turns out, no. Raja is not a wrestler. He was just there to visit. And then even the other people that were there, the other wrestlers, maybe even the owner of the pay-per-view for all I know, right? The independent event was even trying to tell him like, yeah, like, look, Psycho Stu, you know, there are wrestlers who like to be in character throughout the whole time. And there's times where you turn that on, there's times where you turn that off.
We're working out, well, he's going to come out on your mat, Juice. I know you keep thinking we're working. We're always working.
I get it, yeah. I get it now. Now you
know what I'm saying,
yeah.
We're always working. So we'll set it up. Well, I'll have him come out during your mat so we could fucking seal the whole thing and we'll make something out of it. You know what I'm saying?
They were literally like trying to protect Psycho Stu by telling this kid like, hey, look, he was just in the mode, but it was just bad timing. Like, let's just squash it, get over it. And believe it or not, some of the people that were there were my instructors. One of them was even there trying to calm him down.
What he thought was he was a pro.
I understand.
Yeah. Another thing is, even when we are working like that, you don't fucking, you know
That's
what I mean?
I'm saying.
But he doesn't know him like that.
He don't. He's a fucking idiot. Hey. So when you run in on his shit, you fucking give him his receipt. You remember what a receipt is?
After he talks to him, right, they basically tell him, look, you're clearly heated. We don't want you to feel bad. So tell you what, we're going to go talk to the main guy who is running this independent event, and we're gonna get you in it. And I was like, oh, okay, so that makes more sense. That's why he didn't just jump in there. He was allowed to go in there. So there's this whole segment where they're passing through all these wrestlers, and then they end up taking this kid all the way through the whole entire building until they meet this guy, and they're like, hey, like, this kid's gonna basically be in it. Take him in there, okay? He's gonna basically go in there, pick him up, throw him down, throw like a few fake hits, maybe like 7 or 8, and then that'll be the end of that, and he gets out. And then the kid's like, okay. And throughout the whole entire time, Raja actually looked like he had his composure. Like, he was just like, all right, cool. Like, hey, he did that to me. Yeah, I'd be happy to be part of the show and do this. Why not? At first, I was thinking, okay, it's probably for publicity. Like, he could be like, yeah, I did a wrestling show once. Like, I've been in it. So that's what I thought. But then, as the show was going on, you could tell he was waiting for his cue. Then he ends up talking to the camera, to his live audience, and he starts telling them, no, fuck that. Like, I'm actually going to go in there, I'm going to beat his ass. And then that's when we have the famous altercation that's going live right now, that's going viral, where he goes in there, picks up Psycho Stu, hits him so hard to the point where I think he knocked him out just from throwing him down, and he starts wailing on him to the point where all the other wrestlers have to grab his ass and restrain him, to the point where they were like, dude, that's enough, stop. And he got so mad to the point where then they had to escort his ass out of there. You could tell all the wrestlers were trying to hit him, grab him down, you know, they were calling him a bitch. And then as soon as he left, he got upset because he basically said that the wrestlers were calling him a bitch. Dude, you're a bitch, okay? I'll gladly say that. You're a bitch. You pulled a bitch move. How the fuck are you gonna lay down on someone who is unconscious and who can't fight back? That's a bitch move. I don't care what anybody says. For someone to actually do that, and for the record, okay, I could tell this kid was not going to stop. The only reason he stopped at where he was at was because the wrestlers intervened. If the wrestlers did not come in, I guarantee you he would have kept going, and it would have been worse. From what I learned so far, alright, Psycho Stu is in the hospital. He got hospitalized. But now, believe it or not, he's awake and he's actually making a full recovery, which is great to hear. Everybody was worried, oh man, like he could possibly have brain damage. Clearly, this guy must have a concussion. People thought that he might have been unalived. And luckily, that's not the case, which is good. Thank you, God. You know, like, let's be happy that it didn't become worse than what it was. But what's frustrating about this is two things. One, when that was going on, from the camera angle alone, I could tell that this dude was straight up punching him. The referee, I could tell, was trying to tell him like, oh, stop, 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 until he had this realization. Stop. Oh shit, he's actually hitting him. Yo, dude, like, stop. But I'm kind of thinking, why didn't you grab him? It kind of brings that criticism where, like, WWE referees are, like, literally useless. You know what I mean? It's true, you know, because it's scripted. So because of that, you know, like, when you see a referee from boxing, they'll be like, hey, stop, stop, stop. These referees, man, never seem to do shit, and I wish they could change that. I hate that about wrestling. It's like these referees, like, for some reason, never learned how to use hands. But yet, all they know how to do is go 1, 2, 2. You know, like, that's all they know how to do. Oh, man. Then again, the referee might have not known. Again, everybody knew that this was scripted. This was part of the show. They just didn't know that he was going to take it to such an extreme point where it became so realistic and violent, okay? Secondly, when Raja went out there, apparently his father, someone sent him this clip because that's how crazy it got viral. So the point where even his dad called him on the live stream to talk to him and tell him, what the fuck is the problem? Raja basically tells him that he pissed him off. His dad's like, look, I get that, but you overdid it pretty much. And you basically went ahead and you laid him down flat and he's not responding. This is his response.
Hello?
That motherfucker and start welding him. I just saw the video.
Shit pissed me off though, Andre.
I understand that, but now they can't wake the nigga up. He's fucking in the ring, fucking flatline, bro.
My bad.
You didn't have to do all that shit. I understand y'all had heat. You didn't have to fucking take it there.
Alright, I'll call you back later.
Alright.
Yeah, my bad. You know what he practically said? Whoops. That's what he said. Like, his reaction had no remorse. It's amazing how people are nowadays with that shit. I'm telling you. Like, this guy wanted to be a tough guy. All you ended up doing was just making yourself look like a complete moron. That's all you absolutely did, okay? Because you showed you have no self-control, that you're petty as fuck, and that all you know how to do were bitch moves. That's all you proved, okay? That you got no fucking character at all when it comes down to anything. Now he got banned off Kick. No one's gonna want him to be anywhere near an independent show. Now I'm gonna have to go on here. Okay, so here we go. Petition for Roger Jackson to get arrested for attempted murder. Yeah, everyone's already telling him that he's going to be basically facing charges. You see the blood on this guy's head right there. That's how knocked out he was, and that's how many punches he threw. That's crazy. I can't believe he threw that many. I don't know what the hell he was thinking doing that. Damn. And then, because of what's going on, right, the father even gave a statement. So, Rampage Jackson replies, I want to clear up the misunderstanding about my son Raja. I've been confirmed that the wrestler Stuart Smith, aka Psycho Stu, is awake and stable. Great. Raja was unexpectedly hit in the side of the head by him moments before Smith's match. Raja was told that he could get his payback in the ring. I thought it was a part of the show. It was bad judgment and a work that went wrong. Raja is an MMA fighter, not a pro wrestler, and had no business being involved in an event like this. I don't condone my son's actions at all. He suffered a concussion from sparring only days ago and had no business doing anything remotely close to physical contact. As a father, I'm deeply concerned with his health and the well-being of Mr. Smith. That being said, I'm very upset that any of this happened. My main concern now is that Mr. Smith will make a speedy recovery. I apologize on his behalf and to Kick for the situation. Okay, this right here is a very good and proper apology, but there are some problems here. So first of all, I think it's understandable that the father of the son, you know, Rampage, is trying to take accountability for his son. I understand what he's doing. You know, if that was your kid out there, you would do your best to try to defend him or her, obviously, right? That's just common, right? Obviously, any parent's going to go in depth to try to save their child or help them out in a situation. Understandable. Problem here, though, is if the son had a type of condition, which I saw, so there's nothing in this tweet that's a lie. None of that. He is absolutely telling the truth. If he was injured, I don't know why he will go to another sporting event, especially if he has a temper tantrum like that. 2, regardless of the injury, that is no excuse for you to be laying out on someone like that. What he did was unacceptable. And then 3rd, what I do not agree with here is that he says, I want to clear up some misinformation. He just clarified. He didn't really clear up anything. I was like, what's the misinformation? Your kid got hurt. Okay, he got hurt. He went to this event. An altercation occurred. The guy apologized numerous times to the point where they even shook hands. The kid, unfortunately, concussion or not, took it so personally that he wanted to wail out on him. And for him to the point where when he finally got told what he did was wrong, he says, oh, my bad. That's still not acceptable. And I will say, I think it's great that the father does apologize to Kick as well as to even Psycho Stu or aka Mr. Smith, who was even involved in this. I wouldn't be surprised if pretty soon he released a video talking about the situation or if he was to give his thoughts or anything like that. But it's just crazy that literally that people that I even know were even there and they were trying to fix the situation too. Again, I don't blame the wrestlers for getting them involved. I heard this criticism, well, I don't know why the wrestlers were allowed to do that. 1, he's a fighter. And 2, they knew that it was a misunderstanding that had occurred. So to fix it, they thought, okay, look, he hit you, you get to hit him, but you get to do it in the middle of the show, right? They didn't know that he was going to go crazy like that. Safe to say now that they learned their lesson, and that's just not going to happen anymore, okay? Mistakes were made, and mistakes were learned from. Trust me, okay? I can guarantee you this is not going to happen. When I go back to doing my wrestling, I am going to talk about this shit. I'm going to ask, like, hey, I kind of saw this live stream. What the fuck? You know, I genuinely want to be like, what happened here? But in all seriousness, though, people are just talking about this left and right. You know, for this kid to do that, I think clearly he needs to come out and have an apology and really make amends like that because that was fucked. I gotta be honest with you guys. When it comes down to seeing people act like this, man, we live in such a sensitive time now where people take things so hardcore and they take it to such an extreme level that shit like this happens. Look, there's 2 things that you can either do. You can either throw hands at that moment or you can walk away and drop it. Leave it alone, okay? You can't literally in front of everybody accept an apology of an altercation, especially if the guy is being apologetic, and then later on start rampaging like none of that ever happened. That's just being petty at that point. People need to learn how to calm down, take a breath, learn when something is not worth it, and move on with your life. Alright? It's not that serious. I don't know why everybody nowadays has this whole thing like, oh, I'm a tough guy, right? Nobody fucks with me. I'm like, yeah, you said that, this guy said that guy said that, and like 40 other people I know throughout my life said that shit. And I'm gonna know another 40 after that. Like, you know, everybody likes to think they're the tough guy, okay? Everybody says that. So I don't really know what makes this guy so different. Why? Because he's a fighter? There's other fighters that say that and do a better job than this shit, okay? So that's what I'm trying to tell you, okay? Like, this is not acceptable. That's not okay. People need to learn how to have some self-control and calm the fuck down. Otherwise, stay the fuck out of crowds because you clearly cannot hack it. Honestly, it's just crazy how people are nowadays over the smallest shit. You know, what should have happened at that moment should have been a receipt. If I was there, honestly, if I was there, I would have been like, you know what? We need to give Raja a receipt. Okay, look, you hit him with a beer can. Look, here, you take this can and you smack it on his head. Okay? I think that would have been fair. But other than that, though, verse, I mean, it's crazy, man. It's just crazy how shit is nowadays, you know, how people will take it to such an extreme. I could tell the crowd was like, yeah, oh shit. Like, they didn't know what to do. And man, I even heard criticism that people who are involved in wrestling were reacting to this video and even said, I don't know why the other wrestlers were even trying to restrain him. They should have beat his ass. Everyone was like, they should have beat that kid's ass on that spot. And I was kind of like, I mean, he's not wrong. I get it. You're trying to hold back the situation, but if he kept intentionally trying to, like, continue on with his assault, I think at that point, there's, like, no holds bar. You should have just did what you needed to do at that moment. So, let me know what you guys think. This situation clearly is crazy. I'm glad to hear that Stu is making a recovery. I hope he recovers very soon. And, again, I'm going to keep up to date with this story. You know, this is really, really messed up. So, with that said, lovers, if you like what you saw, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification for more content as always. Look forward to the next video verse, and with that said, I'll see you next time. Later, verse.